Okay.
You're good.
I'll try my best. Thank you. All right, question for you before I start. How many people visit Ledges State Park each year? Does anybody know? What do you think?
I like it. Are you asking like if we go or like
Great clarification, yes. How many people, number of people do you think visit Ledges State Park every year?
Oh,
Your guess?
let me say 20. I was thinking.
20,000?
Yeah.
45,000? Any guesses? Boss, guess?
My number was like 15. You guys all, but I
15?
bet it is higher than.
So I'm Andy Bartlett, I'm the manager at Ledges State Park, and visitation is very hard for us to calculate. We can certainly know exactly how many campers we have because they all fill out reservation information and put the number of occupants on their campsites. So in the campground alone each year, we see roughly 15 to 16,000 people that camp just at Ledges. Now, day use visitation, people who picnic, hike the trails, come out, that's a little bit harder. In the past, prior to, let's say, the fall of 2019, we guessed. It was a wild guess as to what visitation was. I've been at Ledges for 18 years, and I used some of that visitation data prior to those 18 years of coming there to just base off of that my guesses for visitation. And it was, if there was a flood, we obviously had less people. If it was longer winter, we had less people, and we would base that off of that. But in 2019, we were actually able to purchase and employ road tube car counters for traffic counters to count the number of vehicles. And then I would go out and sit for periods of time along the roads, and I would count how many people were in each car and average that out. I'd get about 100 cars, average it out, and use that as my average or my multiplier for the per vehicle person count. I would always usually come up with about 2.75 on average. And so when I look at our car counter data now, and I can't say that they're perfectly placed throughout the park, but when I look at that car counter data, based on that, we were guessing about 25% too high for our visitation at the park. Now, looking now at car counter data, we estimate annual average visitation, day use visitation, and campers combined to be about 350 to 400,000 people a year.
What?
Yeah, coming through Ledges. So where do they go? What do they like to do? Where should we focus our management efforts? Even before 2020, in 2020 when COVID hit, it obviously exploded, visitation exploded, where we were at 500 or just over 500,000 people visiting Ledges in 2020 based on the car counter data. Is that still accurate though? We don't know. Are we using the car counters in the right way? We don't know. Are there other ways that we can estimate visitation? And so that's why I'm here today, is to ask about researching and investigating ways in which we can better estimate the number of actual visitors that come to Ledges. Our car counters have really helped us, I think, narrow our focus a little bit more, but that's not to say, so someone drives into the park with their family, they go through the canyon, they come up and around, and they go back through the canyon again, because they want to check it out. We're counting that car twice, and they visited the park once that day. So are we still too high? I don't know. So my question to you, and the project I'm kind of proposing to Palooza this year, is to investigate ways in which maybe we can use social media, crowdsourced photo imagery from Google Maps or Google Photos. I know there's been some research projects on this in the past I found online, but I haven't read into them very much, to estimate visitation and then compare what you find through those online methods to some of the methods we've used in the past with the car counters. I also have recruited in the manager at Big Creek State Park down by Polk City because they use car counters as well to estimate. So we can kind of compare their numbers and their visitation. If you want to broaden the scope of the project a little bit more beyond Ledges, we can also partner with staff at Big Creek to kind of expand it. And there's the possibility too that this project down the road can be the model for what all state parks in Iowa use to estimate visitation, because visitation drives a lot of what we do. If there's certain areas of the park that are being visited more than other areas, we focus a lot of our management efforts on those areas, whether that's making the roads and parking lots better, picnic areas maintained better, and grills and things and amenities in good shape. We want to focus our efforts where people want to be. And it's pretty apparent where people want to be at Ledges. The canyon down in there is the most beautiful part of the park. It's why we have a state park there today. But are there other areas? Can we estimate visitation? Can we focus management efforts? So I'd like to see if there's an opportunity to investigate some of these other ways to look at visitation to focus our management efforts at the park. And also be a model for future state park visitation and estimation, because there are managers across the state right now that don't have car counters, and they are literally putting guesses on paper every month for visitation statistics that we're reporting. We report these statistics to the legislature every year, and it helps us drive funding, it helps us support grant applications. It does a lot. Our visitation actually does a lot for what we want to do at the park to manage it. So I have an overview, a project overview. I can leave, I can email it to Boz. But some of the objectives would be to research and derive monthly data from social media content in 2024 and 2025 so far, comparing that data to reported park visitation numbers for that same time period, and determining if there are any noticeable patterns. Determine which elements of nature attract people to certain locations, and investigate or compare more than one park to determine if patterns or trends are observed. Some of the tools and partners you can use: geotag social media content, Google image data, state park visitation data. I can try to get some of our webpage analytics from our central office in Des Moines, and online publications relating to the subject. Like I say, other research projects that have done something similar in the past. I have contact information for myself as a point of contact for the project. Sarah Klein is the manager of Big Creek State Park, and she can be a point of contact for down there. We can loop her into all the communication if you want to broaden it that way. But some of the expected outcomes would be to provide our managers, with a presentation that summarizes the findings from the different objectives, and provide us with recommendations for how we can use that data and conclusions for future management activities. So I think it's really exciting, because I think there's a chance that we narrow our focus, we do better with our management of the park, and make it a better place for people to come, just by knowing exactly how many people are there. Questions for me?
Do you got a due date that you would want it by for sure?
I don't really. Nope.
Okay.
Take your time on it.
How often would you want to check in?
I would say it'd be nice to check in, every couple weeks, just to see how things are going. You're more than welcome to reach out to me as much as you want for information, data. You're going to initially, if you adopt the project, and initially get a big data dump from me on car counter traffic and visitation data, historic data. We can certainly look at much broader than 2024 and 2025 and include some of those as far back as you want to go, whatever you find for data.
All right, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.